Hello and welcome to the 8th Annual U.Pitch National Collegiate Elevator Pitch Competition and Showcase. My name is Scott Eisen and I'm President and CEO of Future Founders. Future Founders is a nonprofit that believes everyone can become an entrepreneur. We are building the nation's largest inclusive community of intentional young entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial-minded leaders. Our programs immerse youth in experiences that inspire and empower them to adopt an entrepreneurial mindset and create their own opportunity. We believe this leads to a generation more determined, hopeful, and equipped as they engage the future. Since 2005, we've served over 35,000 youth, and our national 18 to 30-year-old founders have generated over $139 million in revenue, secured $85 million in capital, and created 1,027 jobs. We encourage you to join us as we empower the next generation of business leaders and entrepreneurs. For the last 7 years, we've brought together our entire community to watch some of the best collegiate entrepreneurs in the country pitch their startups at U.Pitch. These young founders have gone on to accomplish some amazing things, including major investment deals, landing Fortune 500 clients, creating hundreds of jobs, and several have even gone on to sell their businesses in major acquisition deals. U.Pitch is a celebration of entrepreneurship, something we need now more than ever before. To share a little bit more about why we believe entrepreneurship is the key to providing youth with opportunity, please welcome the founder and executive chairman of Uptake Technologies, 2019 EY World Entrepreneur of the Year, and chairman of the board at Future Founders, Brad Keywell.
Hello and welcome to the 8th consecutive U.Pitch National Collegiate Elevator Pitch Competition presented by Future Founders. My name is Brad Keywell, and I am the chairman of the board of Future Founders. And on behalf of all of my teammates here, I welcome each of you. The idea of an elevator pitch, of capturing your ideas clearly, succinctly, and impactfully, is part of the entrepreneurial journey. And as I think back on the last year, I think of the pandemic and what it's done in revealing all of these problems and opportunities that are unique to today, that are unique to where we are in our society in 2021 going forward. We are now in a world where technology and life are inextricable and inevitable. And in every part of our society, in public and private sectors, innovation awaits. And those who can communicate their ideas with impact and succinctly are going to have doors open to them that will surprise them and call on their core entrepreneurial greatness. That is why we're here. For 10 years, Future Founders has used our programming and events like this U.Pitch Elevator Pitch Competition to show our world and the world that age and background are not and should not be limiting factors to entrepreneurial opportunity. That everyone has the power to pursue their own unique entrepreneurial path. That entrepreneurship awaits those who are willing to step into the arena. And we at Future Founders are here to help you get in that arena, to empower you to succeed in the entrepreneurial arena, and to be wind behind your sails, wind that propels you on regardless of age, background, and where you stand in our society today. We believe entrepreneurship is the path towards better, not just for society, but for every individual in America. And so with that, I welcome you. I wish all of you well today. And this is not a world where, at least our world, the Future Founders, doesn't have a trophy for everyone. But what we do have is lessons and experience that can be offered to every single participant today. And we believe that everyone today who's competing in this elevator pitch competition will be better off for the experience of articulating their vision quickly and with purpose. Good luck, and again, welcome.
Thanks, Brad, for that inspiring message. Without further ado, let's get into the competition. Earlier this fall, Future Founders opened up applications for this year's U.Pitch event. To be eligible, applicants had to be a current college student or recent graduate and submit a pre-recorded 90-second pitch on a for-profit startup headquartered here in the United States. Young entrepreneurs everywhere heard our call, and we received an enormous number of applications from across the country. After intensive review from our panel, 20 contestants were selected to compete in our semifinals round, which took place virtually last week. Each of the semifinalists pitched 4 times to 4 different groups of judges, delivering their 90-second elevator pitches and participating in 6 minutes of Q&A during each round. Judges scored each of these contestants, and the top 5 scoring companies were selected to pitch in our finals round, which you will be watching shortly. The finalists are competing for one of 3 prizes, which are as follows. First place is $5,000. Second place is $2,000, and third place is $1,000. Competition in our semifinals was fierce, and I do not envy the judges who had to make these tough decisions. All 20 semifinalists represent amazing businesses, and we think you and our audience will agree. That's why we're counting on you to help us decide who leaves with our final prize tonight, the People's Choice Award. All of you watching live have the opportunity to vote for your favorite company. The company with the most votes will be awarded a $2,000 prize at the end of the night. Best of all, this prize is open to all 20 young founders who participated in our semifinals event. Voting is simple. Head to U.Pitch.com to learn more about all 20 semifinalists, and then text the name of your favorite company to 562-512-4319. Message and data rates may apply. You can only vote once, so choose wisely. Voting will be open until 5:30 p.m. Central Time, so don't delay. Once you voted, be sure to stick around until the end to find out who is crowned our People's Choice Award winner. Now, before we get into the finals, let's take a look at some of the action that took place during the events leading up to tonight.
Hi, my name is Ivana Carinci.
I'm Nandita.
My name is Pierre Paul.
Nick Love.
The DTS Surrey.
My name is Ambria Santi.
I'm Helena, CEO of Pelo.
How much do you think the Mona Lisa would be worth if Leonardo da Vinci made it today and uploaded it to Instagram?
Around the world, around 70% of people speak at least 2 languages. US, 20%. So why are we lagging behind?
Millions currently rely on rollator walkers to stay mobile, but the device is actually heavily associated with falls.
Inside of the deaf community, they have a lower employment rate. This was something that was impossible to ignore.
In the Caribbean, there are more than 1,200 communities without access to clean water.
Power bills are dirty, like really dirty.
How am I supposed to be able to show up as my best self?
There are 45 million women in the U.S. with mobility challenges,
creating tremendous biodiversity loss and harming ocean ecosystems that support all life on our planet.
We are gaining traction in the $3.9 billion market of US Gen Z millennials, and that's just the beginning.
Constant product innovation is vital to gain market share.
So what Car Central has done is we've designed a car freshener that never has to be thrown away.
We're a digital fine art marketplace that guarantees security and payment for artists and quality and scarcity for buyers.
We've created the only site renters need in their online journey.
We're available online and in-store, so that means you can drop and shop anywhere you'd like.
With Telos device, users can be confident in their mobility as they continue to live their active, independent lifestyles.
Vela, short for available, and we are an online business lifestyle shoe retailer for women with extended shoe sizes.
Faena, our narrative-based language learning video game, solves both of these problems through an enticing retro-futuristic world along the Andes.
Our sensors use a data analysis method backed by the USDA to detect fires and report back to our users via text message.
We see an opportunity to help airlines and ground service operations become safer, more efficient, cost-effective, and environmentally friendly.
So basically, you dip your braid into the device.
We have developed a series of patent-pending hybrid injection devices to be used when patients have to self-administer injection medications at home.
Thank you so much for your pitch. Can you tell me a little bit more about the back end, the process?
Give me the vision of what this is in 5 years.
How many sales have you done to date?
How you will make that available for those perhaps from underrepresented communities.
Can you describe your target customer?
This is a sexy market right now.
Could you just explain a little bit your current traction?
As you can see, we've had an eventful few days. I want to congratulate every semifinalist for the hard work they put into preparing for this event and for sharing their visions for a better world during their pitches. You're all winners for taking on the challenges of entrepreneurship, and we cannot wait to watch you on your journeys. I also want to thank the amazing group of judges who joined us in the semifinals. The time and expertise you shared with our contestants is invaluable, and all of us here at Future Founders truly appreciate your dedication to these young founders. And for anyone out there who's interested in learning more about how you can volunteer to judge or participate in one of our future events, be sure to visit futurefounders.com/getinvolved. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to thank the incredible organizations that support the work we do with 18 to 30-year-old founders across the country. Blackstone Charitable Foundation, Capital One, Keywell Foundation, the John E. and Jean T. Hughes Foundation, and J. Freeman Foundation. These sponsors make events like U.Pitch possible and are instrumental in Future Founders' mission to build the nation's largest inclusive community of diverse young founders. With that, let's get to the finals. For the finals round, Future Founders is thrilled to welcome a new group of judges consisting of some of the most innovative entrepreneurs and investors of today. Please join me in welcoming Justin Howard, founder and CEO of Sprout Social, Amanda Lannert, CEO of Jellyvision, Wes Troll, founder and CEO of Fetch Rewards, and Tony Wilkins, investor at Standing Oaks Venture Partners. Thank you to this incredible group for agreeing to join us this evening. We know you're going to provide some wonderful insights for our finalists. Now, let's see who's moving on to the finals. Finalist 1 is Karma Trade. Finalist 2 is Telo. Finalist 3 is Pelo. Finalist 4 is Inferno Guard. And finalist 5 is We Hear You. Congratulations to this group of amazing young founders. We're so excited to see you face off in the finals. As a reminder, while only 5 contestants are moving on to the finals, all 20 semifinalists are still eligible for the $2,000 People's Choice Award. Voting is open for another 10 minutes. Visit upitch.com to review the semifinalists and text your vote to 562-512-4319. Now, the moment you all have been waiting for, the pitches. Our finals round will follow the same format, a 90-second pitch followed by 6 minutes of Q&A, a portion of which has been edited for time. Let's get started. First up is Mona Fang, co-founder of Karma Trade.
Born in the US, I moved to China when I was 7 years old, where I moved to a different city each year until I was 12. And then I moved back to the US and started all over again. And every year I had to clean out almost everything I own, getting rid of most of my clothes just to reacquire it again. Frustrated by the system, I came up with the idea of Karma Trade. Karma is a digital currency that trades secondhand fashion with people and businesses. At a Karma outpost, you can trade in the clothes you don't wear for Karma, then use that Karma later for new outfits or send it to a friend. We're online and in-store, so you can drop and shop anywhere you'd like. And with this flexibility, you can build your dream closet. In 1 year, we opened our own thrift store as the first Karma outpost, conducting 3,400 swaps with nearly 1,000 members. We circulated 17,000 clothing items, charging $2 per item service fee, and minted 200,000 Karma. We're a fashion staple at the U of I culture, featured on Amazon Prime. Anyone can make money as a Karma outpost, especially thrift stores. We drive foot traffic through our user-based network. Our data shows that we trifold their customer lifetime value, and our system automates their inventory curation and e-commerce presence. Everything we need is already created. To help us build a zero-waste future, we're asking for $5,000 today to onboard 5 more outposts covering their cost of inventory equipment. Karma Trade is here to build a Web3 decentralized circular economy. Experience unlimited fashion by simply getting what you give.
Mona, you said that it's $2 transaction. Is that the revenue that your company generates from each transaction?
At our outposts, we set our service fees to be $2, and for each business, they can set their own service fee price line based off of their curation effort on their thrift stores or their business operation as well. And for our revenue from other outposts, we charge 20 cents per transaction.
Thank you.
And it sounds like the business model is split between the outpost that you're running and then kind of the back end system that like a thrift store might use. Is that correct? There's kind of two lines of business here.
Yes. So we give the software to the thrift stores and then we charge like a small percentage off of that, similar to Square. So Square for thrift stores in a sense.
Got it. And to use that software, does that only make sense if they're using the kind of the barter trade-in concept, or do you have software that they would use even if they were just running their typical thrift store business?
This would be just for our karma trading system. This would be a microeconomy that allows users to exchange karma between themselves, as well as businesses to exchange inventory between themselves, charging transaction fees at their choice. And we also have the option.
Part of what's happening at that thrift store might go through the karma ecosystem, it sounds like.
Yes, and they have full ownership in their clothing and the inventory that they receive from these people. But per transaction, we that's how the swap goes. And what's been really interesting is that, we have a single piece of item that goes through multiple hands, and we get to charge service fees on that multiple times.
Do you envision there being a consumer portal or app that they're engaging with to understand the impact, what they're saving from rethreading versus buying new?
Yes, we are very customer UI UX and product design oriented, developing a centralized user experience where they will be able to measure their impact based off of bathtubs. That's our favorite metric. Every pair of jeans on average takes 45 bathtubs of fresh water to produce, and so we like to throw that as a cute little metric.
What are the insights you have about your consumer that will help you know where next to open 5 to 10 stores?
Great question. So we've learned that clothing is content, similar to that Rent the Runway analogy, and that once people, especially these unique item pieces, are the ones that have the highest flux rates, because once you wear something that's very unique, it depreciates in its value after 3 to 5 wears. So in scouting for new locations, these are the way that we expand is through sending out software to these companies. So for our next set of people, we're looking for diverse retail audiences. The next one that we're onboarding right now is a zero waste retail store in Mahomet, Illinois, a neighboring town. So where we can drive our user base towards them. So we're looking for a local strategy where we can expand out centrally through Illinois and then building out through there.
Thank you, Karma Trade. Next, we have Morgan Kerfeld and Stephen Blue, co-founders of Telo.
Good afternoon. My name is Morgan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Telo, a company launching the first significant innovation to the rollator walker in over 40 years. Millions currently rely on rollator walkers to stay mobile, but the device is actually heavily associated with falls, landing over 40,000 individuals in emergency rooms and costing the U.S. healthcare system over $50 billion every year. So how does a device meant to prevent falls actually cause them? Well, the reasoning lies in the rollator shifting an individual's weight onto a set of wheels that can easily shoot out in front of them. This is why Telo's rollator lives behind the user versus in front, with an adjustable seat that folds up into a backrest for support, preventing it from rolling ahead. By putting the user at its center, the handles can act like parallel bars, allowing users to take natural strides and maintain proper walking habits, while also opening them up to the world so they are seen first, not their disability. With integrated technology, our device tracks speed, distance, and weight reliance, which when connected to our mobile application allows it to serve as an activity tracker for the user and an efficient data collector for physical therapists. Since starting Telo just 9 months ago, we built a fully functional prototype, secured IP protection, raised more than $70,000 in non-dilutive funding, and competed in multiple startup competitions, placing top 4 in each. As we prepare for our business launch and product launch in April, we have been featured in prominent press outlets such as Minneapolis Business Journal and NPR. And almost every day we receive inquiries from customers asking how they can purchase. With Telo's device, users can be confident in their mobility as they continue to live their active, independent lives. Thank you. We'd love to open it up for any questions.
Tell me how Telo keeps the seat from sliding out from underneath them and having like a third grade pull the chair out from underneath your lunch buddies experience.
Yeah, so the seat actually locks in place when it's upward in backrest position. And then we're also working with physical therapists, depending on the needs of the patients that use them. Some would require automatic locking brakes in the back. Some would want it to roll so they can catch themselves. And it kind of depends on each person's physicality level, but we can add in those features pretty readily as we go. So we can make it highly customizable with different safety features.
I know who the consumer is. Who's the buyer? Is it the individual? Is it a family member of the individual? Is it a physical therapist, insurance company? Who's the buyer?
Yeah, definitely. So we're originally starting out as direct to consumer. So it would either be the user buying it for themselves, or when we start to get into more of the elderly population, we often will see it's caregivers who are most interested in purchasing the device. So those will be our two first customers. As we continue to grow, we are looking at going into B2B, so hospital systems and physical therapy clinics. So right now we are running pilots with 2 physical therapy clinic partners and creating those case studies to get ready for a larger scale clinical trials that we're able to enter those systems at a later date.
What's the cost profile, both for this device, but comparison to what's available on the market, especially if direct to consumer?
Yeah, definitely. So our product, the actual hardware itself, is priced at $1,200. And then the software application is $20 per month. This is actually very in line with our current competitors, specifically Bioacre and Rolls are 2 companies also trying to get micro innovations into the rollator walker, specifically trying to make a lighter device. Their products are also priced at $1,200 and $850 respectively. So very in line with their products, but we're adding a lot more value having it be a posterior device versus an anterior living in front of you. And then also having the added integrated technology, which has not been seen on the market before.
Are you going to need any FDA approvals? Is this a medical device that you'll need something for?
So it is a class 1 medical device, but we are 510K exempt and also GMP, which are the good manufacturing practices, exempt as well. That being said, we are planning on filing with the FDA, so registering the device and listing it. And the main reason for that is because it opens up opportunities for our customers to use their HSA and FSA dollars in order to purchase the device.
Thank you, Telo. Next up, Helena Kim and Cameron Ross, co-founders of Pelo.
Hi, I'm Helena, CEO of Pelo, an innovative period product that marries the convenience of tampons and long-lasting wear of menstrual cups for carefree cycles for all. Pelo disrupts the stigmatized $40 billion feminine hygiene industry that hasn't seen innovation in almost a century. You may think, period products, hasn't this issue already been solved? Well, it hasn't. In fact, 70% of women have asked a friend to check if they leaked in their clothes. Women rush to the restroom 21 times during her cycle just to change out her tampons, and 45% of menstrual cup users find insertion and removal impossible. Our survey and interviews of 800 women show 3 out of 4 are actively searching for a better solution. Our patent-pending product, developed alongside our OB/GYN medical advisor, is a menstrual cup that self-conforms to the body, provides full leak protection all day long, and is easy to insert with the first ever applicator of its kind. Since starting less than a year ago, we've created more than 100 prototypes and conducted successful initial usability testing. We're a Mass Challenge finalist and won U.Chicago's College NVC. Pelo is asking for $5,000 from U.Pitch to 3D print our MVPs and finalize our design. And we have the best team of advisors, including Kenyatta Martin, the patent holder of Tampax Pearl, and former global brand manager at Procter & Gamble. We're 4 driven U-Chicago and MIT founders committed to work on Pelo because we know we are the women to change the cycle of feminine care, period. Thank you, and we'd love to take your questions.
What are cups currently? What % market share do cups have compared to pads and tampons?
Right now, the North American menstrual cup market is expected to reach 245 million in 2027, and that's from 153 million in 2019. And the market is expected to grow with a CAGR of 6.2%. Compared to tampons, it definitely is a smaller market. However, we do see with menstrual cup market, it is growing, whereas tampon market is on the decline due to women becoming more conscious about what they're putting into their body and their health, and toxic shock syndrome, as well as that's from tampons' absorptive natures.
Who's your consumer?
So our consumer, I can also take that question. We decided to have our beachhead target to be the Gen Z sort of millennial customer, which is between the ages of 18 to 25. And the reason we chose this consumer is because Gen Z is really an untapped market for period products. This consumer is viewing their relationships with brands in a vastly different way, creating opportunities for really interesting new marketing tactics that period brands just haven't completely adapted to yet. In addition, this age group is entering a new stage of life, which is either college or entering the workforce for the first time. And so for the first time, she has a huge sense of freedom to experiment and build her own routines, and is no longer wishing to use her mother's products, but is instead learning from her peers and eager to create her own rituals. And our survey that we mentioned 800 users collected is also based off of our target population as well, which confirms this desire for new products.
What do you think is the ideal go-to-market strategy that you're initially aiming for once the product design is complete?
Right, so I can take that too. So right now we are aiming to launch on e-commerce via D2C subscription model, which we find very useful for us as periods come once a month. So a subscription model fits perfectly into that. And after 2 years of e-commerce, we plan to make the switch to more unique forms of retail. So obviously we'll try to aim for the main Walgreens CVS Target, but we're also looking to aim also towards different types of retail, such as Urban Outfitters or Free People, where this age group is beginning to look for cool new products as well.
Thank you, Pelo. Now we have Nandita Balaji and Kevin Casper, co-founders of Inferno Guard.
Good afternoon. I'm Nandita. I'm the co-founder and COO of Inferno Guard, and we're reimagining remote wildfire detection. This past summer has shown us that the biggest problem with wildfires is that massive fires, such as the bootleg fire, can burn for over 7 days before being detected. We've spoken with over 50 large-scale landowners, and 100% of them have reported word of mouth or direct sight as their primary method of notification. And that's why we've created Inferno Guard. We deploy utility patented hardware devices the size of your phone directly on trees in remote environments to monitor wildfire threats. Our sensors use a data analysis method backed by the USDA to detect fires and report back to our users via text message. We initially engage our customers with our data-driven wildfire risk assessment, which determines high-risk areas unique to a landowner's property. Think heat maps, but for wildfire risk. From there, devices are purchased for deployment in these areas, and a monthly monitoring fee ensures continued data access. And landowners are hungry for our technology. We've partnered with Yosemite National Park and have over a dozen interested beta customers from many industries, including timber, which we've identified as our beachhead market because our technology has the potential to save the nearly $400 billion in revenue at risk of wildfires each year. We're excited to see our work positively impact the environment and improve the livelihoods of millions. Thank you.
Can you give us a sense of would your buyer be thinking of this in terms of like cost per acre? Like how many devices, what's the density of devices, across a piece of land? Are there, is it every other tree? Is it every quarter acre? How does that work?
Yeah, I can break down the pricing model a little bit for you. So the best example that we like to give to help explain the pricing model is through one of our partners at Collins Co. Lumber. They own 100,000 acres of land, and they recently just lost $150 million in revenue due to a wildfire that happened near their property. So the example that we like to give is they have 100,000 acres of land, but we have this wildfire risk assessment that we start with and we run, and we identify high risk areas on their property for which devices would actually need to be deployed. So we deploy the devices in those high risk areas and along the landowner's perimeter. So if you own 100,000 acres of land, you actually only have to deploy in about 3,000 to 4,000 acres of that property. And the device density that we've identified currently, we're doing testing with USDA and back at Yosemite this winter to finalize that. But our initial hypothesis is about 1 device per acre. So it's 1 device per acre in those high risk locations, which is ultimately it comes to about 0.2% of the total damage costs that Collins Co. faced when you look at it holistically, including all of our pricing with our monitoring plan, our hardware deployments, and our risk assessment initially.
Any details about you said the hardware costs? We haven't talked about that yet. What's the hardware cost looking like? I'm sure we need to get to a certain scale for it to come down. If you're talking about 1 per acre and 4,000 acres, significant amount of hardware. So that'd be question 1. And the second one is just around maintenance. Battery life, maintenance of 4,000 devices in remote woods?
Yeah, great question. So primarily for the hardware devices, off-the-shelf parts cost about $120 to produce right now, expecting that it'll cost about $30 when we manufacture down the line and sell it for about $100. But as we look at maintenance and things like that. We will have a team that actually goes in and does the entire deployment process for a landowner. Expected battery life with our current method right now is about 18 months. That's definitely going to scale and grow as we have the funding to kind of grow that development of that power supply focus, which would then require landowners to go in and do that maintenance. But our monitoring plan covers battery replacements, or if a product wasn't working for any specific reason, we've included kind of that all-encompassing data access maintenance fee as well. So I hope that answers some of your questions.
Yeah, only one other thing. What's the problem? I'm guessing, in the competitive landscape, if you think about like satellite or remote operated drones or anything like that as alternatives, what are the biggest clouds I'm guessing are a problem?
Yeah, Nandita, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. So I think one of the biggest thing with competitors is that with all of the landowners that we've spoken to, all of them have reported that they primarily rely on word of mouth detection for notification. Even our partners at Yosemite National Park reported that, they rely on visitors calling in fires or commercial planes flying overhead. So the current detection methods that are in use for instantaneous notification is really dated, because like satellites can take up to 7 days to detect a fire after ignition. And even our partners at Big Creek Lumber, a lumber company in Northern California, reported that they attempted using solutions like cameras for detection, but were frustrated by the inaccuracies of data collected. So a lot of the solutions on the market right now just aren't efficient at wildfire detection.
Thanks, Inferno Guard. For our last pitch of the night, we have Pierre Paul and Bethany Khoury, co-founders of We Hear You.
Pierre, you're on mute. Oh, no, you're not. I'm sorry.
It was probably a moment of panic and urgency when we thought you couldn't hear me. Yet,
Gotcha.
we as a society lack that same urgency when it comes to more than 1 million deaf individuals who utilize American Sign Language as their primary means of communication. Additionally, the deaf and hard of hearing community has a much lower employment rate, 53.3%, compared to the rest of population, 75.8%. At We Hear You, we created a sign language translator that not only translates American Sign Language into spoken English, but can also translate spoken English into ASL. Since there is no current solution, the market size is vast. This product should be available in any institution where a live signer is not required. In terms of my qualifications, I could talk about my master's or my certificate in diversity and inclusion from Cornell, but what really makes me qualified is that as an immigrant, I experienced firsthand what it's like to be unheard, and I've been fighting for others ever since. We are currently in the development stage of our product and will utilize a B2B model, leasing our software to businesses. When it comes to our competitive advantage, we have managed to create this software with virtually any camera. We launched a beta version in December of 2020, and now we have advanced gradually. With $5,000, we would continue to develop our software and use it for development costs. We hear you. So when it comes to accessibility, are you ready to listen?
What an amazing pitch timed to the Zoom first world. So first of all, way to use that and get attention from the audience. I think that's absolutely awesome. What are you guys thinking about when you said a SaaS-based business? What do you think from the perspective of the revenue model, what something like this should be priced at for companies or institutions looking to purchase it?
So realistically, when it comes to pricing, right now with our B2B model, we're leasing the software for $50 a month to these small businesses, but it's going to be on a tiered system based on what the institution can accommodate. Our goal is to bring accessibility to the world, specifically to these small businesses that may struggle to afford it. So that tiered system can vary.
From the software development standpoint, give us a sense of how far along you are in terms of kind of proof of concept, and that that you can convert the video stream to the spoken language and vice versa. And now it's just a matter of building the actual interface, or is the tech behind actually interpreting the signs still kind of in progress?
Absolutely. So when we launched our beta version in December of 2020, we had finger spelling. So it would take the finger spelled words and it would string it together and then translate it automatically. So we have the translation down for finger spelling. From then, we got feedback saying they wanted full gesture capability. So we added a full gesture, like coffee, and when the system sees it, it can verbalize coffee, and we've also already mastered the backwards translation, where if you speak into it, have a nice day, it will sign back, have a nice day. So the software is created, the tablets work, and our system is already functioning. At this point, it's just adding in more words and training the neural network so it can continue to grow.
How server intensive is it? I imagine this is built on AWS or something like that. The neural network that's actually doing the translations. Tell us about that.
So we actually created the neural network as a team. So we created a specific neural network to run the software, and it takes copious amounts of data. But once we give it, let's say, 100,000 clips of me signing coffee, and then iced, and then small, it has those clips, and we can put it on virtually anything with a camera that is more modern. So any iPad, any Samsung tablet, a Mac, a Windows computer, Google software. So it works on virtually anything, but the neural network, since we created it, we found a way to put it onto tablets and computers and phones.
Where do you see your product roadmap going as the first biggest burning platform that this needs to be applied?
That's an amazing question. So as I say briefly in the pitch, we want it in places where live signers aren't required. So this technology should not take the place of live signers, should not be in hospitals, and should not be in certain institutions where there should be a signer provided. We started in coffee shops because of the limited vocabulary. So we needed a place to really test out what we had created with the limited enough vocabulary that we could train in the words, but also vast enough that we could use diverse words. So when it comes to the most prevalent places, it would be banks, coffee shops, gas stations. But in terms of elementary schools and middle schools, if they needed this because an interpreter could not be provided, we would happily put our system there as well.
I have a million questions. We've actually had a completely hearing disabled employee, and I know what it costs to have an interpreter, as an accommodation on site, and it is substantial. Can you talk to me a little bit about your rationale and how you're anchoring pricing? You said $50 for a camera per month. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we went back and forth with it. We talked with a lot of mentors early on, just because we didn't want to overprice it to the point where these small businesses who really needed it couldn't afford it, especially coming out of a COVID time when a lot of small businesses are struggling. We still want to be able to provide accessible technology if they need it. Our pricing model is not set in stone. We're definitely open to changing it, adapting it, but it would definitely vary based on the type of subscription we were providing with them.
Congratulations to all our finalists. That was an incredible group of pitches. As the judges deliberate, I'd like to take a moment to talk about opportunities beyond U.Pitch. Future Founders is so much more than just this event. We offer an entire suite of programs aimed at helping youth across the country create their own opportunity. Here to talk about a few of our accelerator programs aimed specifically at 18 to 30-year-old founders is Tina Harback, Senior Director of Startups at Future Founders.
Hi, my name is Tina Harback, and I'm Senior Director of Startups at Future Founders, which essentially means I get to work with the coolest young founders all across the country as they start and scale their own businesses. We really want to work with you as you build and scale your business, and we have two programs that I want to talk to you about today that you may be interested in. These programs are recruiting right now. The application is live on our website, and I encourage you to jump on one of them if you think you could be a good candidate for it. The first, our Startup Bootcamp, begins in March of 2022 and will help you take your idea and scale it into something that could be a full-time job for you. We'll surround you with a network of peers that are growing along the same lines as you are, mentors to support you every step of the way, and subject matter experts through workshops and speaker discussions that will help you skill up in your growth. Our other program, the Fellowship, is really focused on growth stage founders. These founders have kind of figured out what's going on with their business, and we want to invest in you as the best young leaders of emerging startups around the country. The Fellowship begins in February of 2022 and features workshops and executive coaching from our staff and our entrepreneurs and residents. We also bring you into Chicago 2 times over the course of the year for intensive founder weekends that you get to learn a lot, but also have a lot of fun in. If one of these programs sounds interesting to you, apply today. We really want to work with you, and we just want to help you out regardless. So if you're confused about which program to join or just want to talk about your startup a little bit, let me know. You can reach me anytime at tina@futurefounders.com. And I hope to see you in one of our upcoming programs.
Thank you, Tina. As you can see, there are many ways for young entrepreneurs to get involved with Future Founders. Here to share more about their experience participating in Future Founders programs are Brenna Wong, founder of Capnos, and Kyla Armstead, founder of Gadan Uzuri.
Hi there, my name is Brenna Wong. I'm the founder and CEO of Capnos, where we're addressing a behavioral addiction to vaping using the Capnos Zero, a flavored, pressurized air inhaler designed to be used as a behavioral aid like this. My journey with Future Founders first started in fall of 2019 when I joined the residency cohort, now known as the Startup Bootcamp. There, I was able to start learning from other fellows about what it takes to become a great business leader. Now, I'm a member of the 2021 Future Founders Fellowship cohort, and I'm so grateful for all the opportunities I've been granted through the Future Founders family. I'm so grateful for all the experiences and the people that I get to learn from for being part of this. So I highly encourage all young founders to apply to be part of the Future Founders Network. With that, I'd like to ask, will you join me to put a cap on vaping? Thank you and take care.
Hi everyone, my name is Kyla Armstead and I'm the founder of Gadan Uzuri, a wellness company here in Brooklyn, New York with the simple mission of crafting unique wellness products that captivate the senses of our audience, both celebrating and inspiring them. And I was a part of the 2021 Future Founders Startup Bootcamp, where I was able to officially launch my company and generate roughly 1.8K in revenue every single month since April. On top of that, I was also able to redefine my vision for my business from being just another candle brand to growing into an overarching wellness brand. And icing on the cake, I was able to get an amazing cohort of individuals who are supportive and a large network of entrepreneurs. I encourage any small business owner or business owner in general to consider applying for Startup Bootcamp. You won't regret it.
Wow. Thank you, Brendan and Kyla. We really appreciate you sharing those takes and testimonials on our programs. And once again, I just want to encourage all of you out there, if you have an entrepreneurial dream, consider building your business in the Future Founders community. Visit futurefounders.com. I also just want to take a moment to thank our incredible team. We're so lucky to have amazing people powering all the work that we do with middle schoolers, high schoolers, and 18 to 30-year-olds. So feel free to show them some love in the chat, but I just want to say a huge thank you to Kelly, Tina, Sal, Jane, Nick, Renee. All of you have done incredibly, and you continue to power the work that we do every day. So we're super grateful. At this time, I want to announce the winners of our 2021 U.Pitch competition. In third place, I would like to congratulate Mona Fang and Karma Trade. Mona was not able to join us tonight, but we definitely would like to offer our congratulations and support as she continues to build her business. In second place, I would like to congratulate Pierre Paul, and we hear you. And Pierre is going to actually join us on stage momentarily. So we will wait for him to join. The judges were blown away by his pitch, and it was definitely one of the most creative things that we've seen on Zoom. Congratulations, Pierre. How does it feel?
Thank you so much. It feels amazing. Thank you for this opportunity.
Can you share a little bit more about like your inspiration with this business?
Absolutely. So it actually came to me in a dream. So one night I was up doing research and I came across the problem. And so I fell asleep while doing research, and I had a dream that I walked into a McDonald's and I saw the device that we actually created. And so the next morning I contacted the COO, Bethany Corey, now my best friend, and we started working on it, got a team together. And then from there, we've just been consulting with the community that we aim to serve. And it's been an amazing so far.
Well, what can we expect next from you and from the business?
So We Hear You has a couple inventions that are kind of on the back burner. We have one that is currently in the manufacturing stage, which we just closed the deal for. And then our sign language translator is currently developing and growing. So there are a couple inventions that you'll see from We Hear You in the future.
That's awesome. And, you know, one of the things about this community is it's so supportive, and, you know, those who are joining us tonight and will continue to watch later, as this will reside on YouTube afterwards. So if people want to relive the fun events of U.Pitch, you have that opportunity. How can people out there help you? and what do you need?
Well, we're always looking for feedback. We're always looking for data. So you can find our website, wehearyouasl.com. You can find us on social media at We Hear You ASL. And honestly, anything that people are willing to give, whether it's mentorship, whether it's criticism or positive feedback, we're open to everything because we aim to serve the community. So we're always open.
Well, thank you for dreaming big, and congratulations again, Pierre.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. So now it is time to announce our People's Choice Award winners. So remember, this was the award that you selected, and we got hundreds of votes from all over the country, from founders, from supporters of our founders. And we just want to thank everyone who took some time to select their favorite founder. And I know it was a difficult selection because there are so many incredible businesses. But we did have a winner, and this winner is going to walk away with a $2,000 cash prize. Will win our People's Choice Award, and we are confident has a bright future ahead. So with no further ado, I would like to congratulate the 2021 People's Choice Award winner, Beryl. And so let's welcome up Alex Poo.
Hey guys, hey Scott.
Hey Alex, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Sorry if you can hear all my notifications going off right now. Super excited to be here right now.
Well, so what does it feel like to be the winner of the people? Everyone who's out there in the community, like we got so much love in the chat, so many texts, emails, votes. I'm sure if there was time to get mail or packages delivered, they would be Beryl right now. What does it feel like to be this loved by your community?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think we're really blown away. I mean, I'm with my team here now. Like, you can say hi. We've kind of just been freaking out. We think the chat's hilarious. I think it's wonderful that our community is so strong and so many people interested in what we're doing. So it really means so much to us. So thank you everyone in the chat right now.
Well, a huge thank you to them. But tell us a little bit more about like how did you and your team get inspired about travel? I mean, obviously a lot of us entrepreneurs are adventurers and like to take risks and explore the world, but why this problem?
Yeah, I mean, my co-founder Ying and I are both huge travelers ourselves. And in the past, whenever I wanted to travel with friends or loved ones and nobody wanted to plan a trip, it felt like really just a lost cause. So we felt like there just had to be a better way, after almost 20 years after the advent of online booking, it still takes people forever to plan trips. So that's kind of where we came from, the problem that we're trying to tackle, and why we're here today.
And how can people take advantage of your services? Because you are starting to work with businesses right now, and individuals rather. You are like selling to people. So how can people take advantage, and what can they actually get from Beryl?
Yeah. So you're exactly right. In the last 5 weeks, we've planned trips for over 30 customers at this point. So we're definitely seeing a demand for it. If people are interested, I think someone just dropped it on the chat. Our website is baryl.io. So BARYL.io. You can sign up for a time to chat with us there. We can help you plan your next vacation. And then by the end of the year, we'll have an automated product out there that people can try out and plan trips themselves. So, yeah.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll continue to follow your journey, and hopefully everyone there who I'm sure needs a vacation right now, if not even just after this week, but after this pandemic, please take advantage of Beryl, and they'll help to take some of the pain out of traveling so you can just go and enjoy. But congratulations to you and Yang and the entire team.
Thank you so much, Scott. Well said. We do all need a vacation.
You're welcome. And now it's time to announce our winner. I will say over the years, we've had some incredible founders walk away with top honors at U.Pitch, and they have gone on to be acquired. They have gone on to win awards presented by Prince Charles himself. So you never know what can happen. And we're so excited to announce the 2020 Grand Prize First Place Award-winning company for U.Pitch, Telo. And joining me on stage is Morgan Kerfeld. So, hey Morgan, how you doing?
Hey, amazing. How's it going, Scott?
Good, thanks. So how does it feel to win this competition?
Absolutely incredible. This was an amazing experience from the very beginning. We've had such a great time just getting to meet all of the other founders and hear about their incredible ideas, and to be recognized as the winner is really just icing on top of the cake.
Now, I think what's so interesting, and many of us, myself included, have had relatives who've had walkers and different devices to help them with mobility. But there's always that challenge, and making sure that people have the proper posture, making sure that people are able to really kind of be there first, and it's not their device. Like, what take us back a little bit to where this amazing idea came about, and where you hope to see it go.
Yeah, definitely. So one of our co-founders actually has a father who has multiple sclerosis. And so growing up with his father, he really noticed that mobility complications, there's a lot of assistive devices out on the market to help them. And they really do a great job, but they can do a lot better. And so the idea was seeing that there really hasn't been a lot of innovation in this space, even since the devices were invented back all the way in 1978. And so it was recognizing that there's this huge community of individuals who are really wanting and craving a better design and need it, but no one was really fulfilling it. And so we are just so excited to be able to enter that space and work with these community members to try and improve quality of life.
Now that's wonderful. And what can people do? Because many of us know people who could benefit from this. How can we get access to the product? When do you think it might be released? When will this device be something that more and more people can have access to?
Right now, we are working super hard to get the device on the market and available to anyone who wants it. At this point, we're working on kind of our last iteration of the prototype and looking to be launching a crowdfunding campaign in April. So the best way to stay in touch with us is to go to our website at telodesign.com. Join our emailing list. You'll get a monthly newsletter with updates on the product development, the crowdfunding campaign, and eventually be able to actually purchase the device.
That is a wonderful opportunity. So one more time, let's make sure that we pop the website in the chat so that way people can take advantage and follow your journey. The other big milestone I want to share tonight is and this just happened kind of through the normal competition process, but 4 of our 5 finalists were female founders, and you are the first female to ever win U.Pitch. And we're so, first of all, honored and excited to have you be that representative. And to be honest, we thought there's a huge opportunity for women to be an entrepreneur in entrepreneurship. And I guess what message would you have for other potential founders out there, whether they be women or either aspiring male founders out there?
Yeah, I would say, especially when you're a student, you have so many resources available to you through institutions, organizations like Future Founders, that they make it so they want to see you succeed. And so the best thing that you can do at this age is really just go out and try something. If you have an idea, go for it. Find the individuals who are going to help you and push you forward. And really the sky's the limit, especially with entrepreneurship. And to all the females out there, go get it. You guys are awesome and you can really make a difference in this world.
Very well said. Well, congratulations on this huge honor. And we look forward to adding you to the long list of incredible founders who participated in this competition, and hope to welcome you into some of our other programming. So congratulations to you and to Stephen and to everyone on your team.
Thank you so much.
Well, what an amazing event. I think during this time, it's great to see how bright the future looks given all of this innovation that's happening across the country. As we wrap for the evening, I just want to encourage everyone to make sure that you continue to dream big and you take that chance, because there is a community of people in our world and hopefully in yours who will support you and help you through that journey. We at Future Founders encourage you to do something bold, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great night.